Alright guys, so we have He-Man to talk about today. The main portion of the video is going to be some live arena matches where I wanted to try him out. I did a video a few days ago trying to talk about him, but to be honest, I didn't feel like that video really showcased how I wanted to share him. I don't want to overhype him, but I also don't want to undervalue him. And the previous video, his build was 250 speed. Actually, we can go in the optimizer and basically see what it was. It was 250 speed, which is typically what I run most of my live arena champions at, but the stats just really weren't great. I had Savage, I think, plus Stone Skin, 4-piece Stone Skin. I think 4-piece Stone Skin is like the way to go for him. Of course, if you're very early in the game, you probably won't get that, but Stone Skin is just, it's so incredibly powerful for him, especially because he's attack-based champion, so they're more squishy than most champions to begin with, but he also gets more damage based on the buffs placed on him. So if you're starting with Stone Skin plus Strengthen, well, right off the bat, you're getting an extra 10% attack and HP, which is pretty sweet. But also, his A3 skill, if you open with this, well, it's going to start off with an extra 10% damage added onto it. So Stone Skin is going to protect him from dying instantly and also make him hit harder. But the previous build that I had was actually not even this good. It was a little bit less than this, I believe. This one, honestly, isn't terrible. We lose 10% damage, but I'd kind of be on the fence about this. It's definitely a downgrade from what he currently has, but not that significantly. The other build that I had was actually, I think, Savage Gear, which using this wasn't giving me a very good representation of how he actually performs. Now, it is a bit skewed because he has no blessings. If we take him and got him a 2 blessing, then even a 2-star blessing, he'd instantly have 7,500 more attack. Sorry, 7,500, I wish attack, 7,500 more HP and 750 more attack, which for He-Man, he scales off of both of those. So that is fantastic. Also, real quick, I never actually watched the He-Man cartoons. He's a little bit before my time, but I'm fairly sure if you turn the game volume up, this is probably He-Man related sounds. Check this out. It's different than everything else. Is it? But it's different than everybody else. I thought that was pretty cool. If you don't play with game volume, you'll never know that. But I was doing some building earlier and I was like, that sounds different in the background. What is that? That's pretty cool. I do like that. I like that a lot. I just assume that it's He-Man theme song or something related to that. Either way, I digress. This was his build before, I believe. Yeah, 5,500, somewhere around here. Kind of like this. 5,500 attack, 251 crit damage. So when I was testing him, I actually think it was even a little bit less than that. He wasn't performing that great, honestly. And I was a little bit disappointed. I kind of wanted a refund. But I decided, I'm going to go in here and test him some more. I put him in this build, which is 4-piece Stone Skin still. Turn the volume down on my headset a little bit. But this is much better. 6,300 attack, 215 speed, and 277 crit damage. Now, for your level, do you need this high of stats to make him function well? No. You can make him function with lower stats for sure, if that's how majority of your champions are built. But for me, if I look at my champions like Narcisse, for example, who has not the best stats, but he has 100,000 HP, 301% crit damage, and 260 speed, I use him as a nuker. He's a solid nuker. Rhodos is HP and attack scaling champion. He has more HP than He-Man, and he has much lower base HP. He has great crit damage, good speed, and good attack. All of those are actually better than He-Man's, which goes to show you right there. Granted, he's not in Stone Skin, but that already puts Rhodos at a higher gear threshold than He-Man. So if Rhodos and Narcisse are successful for me, as well as Sun Wukong, if these champions are all successful, and this is kind of like the average of my gear, then I need to put He-Man in relatively similar gear. And if I don't, then he's just not going to perform that well. Until I get a 4-star soul for him, which is going to be boosting his crit damage, boosting his attack, and boosting his HP, it's going to be hard to give a 1-to-1 comparison. Now, I do have hope that there's maybe a soul event coming up for him in the future, but when it comes to his damage, you'll see in the live arena test, it's actually pretty solid. When it comes to the pass, and if it's worth your money, that's completely up to you to decide though. As far as Plarium's value for a legendary, is $40 a good price? Absolutely it is. But for pixels, is $40 a good price? I don't know. For nostalgia, maybe. People pay far more for nostalgia. You can see it with Pokemon cards being sold. But for nostalgia, I can't put a price on that. For this pack, outside of him, are these rewards worth it? I mean, no, it's not crazy rewards. It could be decent stuff if you get good instinct things. And there are some 6-star glyphs, so it's not just empty of value. And if you spend the 40, you'll get him eventually, just not instantly. If you spend the 60, you can get him today. I would just save the 20 and then get him in the future. There's no real rush to get him. But he does seem like a good champion. Let's jump into some Doom Tower content real quick. And I want to give some examples of his damage. Now, I'm going to use Siphi. Honestly, though, this is not a great This is not a great example of how much damage he can do, because even if you're able to, say, come in here and stack his passive up to do the absolute maximum damage it possibly can, it's just not realistic for the arena. My Siphi's a 9-piece protection, so it's going to be 5, 10, 15% damage boosted there. Plus, he has the boost from this A3. He's going to hit hard. Like, he's definitely going to hit pretty daggone hard. But these conditions are just, actually, that was not really that hard. There's no decreased defense over there, and that kind of looked pitiful. He does do better in live arena. At least the showcase I'm going to be given here in a little while, he does pretty decent. Got to remember, he doesn't have any defense ignore built into his kit, which does make him hit not as hard as champions like Rodos, who ignores a lot of defense on the A3, champions like Wukong, who ignores a lot of defense on the A2, and then even Narcisse ignores some defense, right? Yeah, ignores 25% of the target's defense. So while He-Man's multipliers are really good, his ignore defense is not there. So you got to rely on other sets to actually get that ignore defense. This team should have Stone Skin, right? One thing I'm wondering, though, is his attack and HP percentage buffed based on the buffs currently placed on him, or the buffs in total placed on him? Like, will his HP go up and down throughout the fight? I can actually test that pretty easily. So we'll hit Galathier. I don't want to remove anything from him, because I want to be able to hit Duchess with this A2. Let's see. Places increased attack, and then gives a big old smack. It's beautiful. It's actually really cool to have that A2, especially against somebody like Duchess, who almost always has 2 turns Stone Skin, and he's strong affinity versus her. So it's really good stuff there. So if it's actually, let's watch these buffs. Once these fall off, we'll be able to see kind of how this actually works. It'll be 5, 10, 15% dropped off. Does he keep the attack and HP boost, which would be really nice, or does he drop it off? Okay, so we use this. Looks like it stays. Looks like it stays, right? Who's the champion who places the most buffs in the game? I gotta think about that. I'm pretty sure it stays. Which is awesome, because that means that, hey, you just load him up with the 5 buffs as soon as possible, and now all of a sudden he has, is it 5 buffs? No, it's 10 buffs, right? So He-Man. So you load him up with the 10 buffs, gets up to a 50% boost of attack and HP. Let's test this out real quick. We'll be able to tell pretty easily on this stage. We'll go with He-Man. Bad L gives 2 buffs. That can keep getting stacked, and Siphi gives some buffs. So let's see how this works. Okay, Siphi gives 3 buffs. Okay, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. All right. And then 8, 9. Well, no, maybe we already had. Were we already good? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So we've definitely already gotten 10. So now we'll just let him. Actually, we could go to the next round and really tell there, right? An easy way would be to see, okay, Siphi's healing him for 35, 94 now. Does she still heal him for that after all of his buffs fall off? 35, 94 is what she was healing for. Didn't heal for nothing then. I'm pretty sure it stays, though. Let's see. Okay, 10,000? No, I guess that was him taking a turn? I don't actually know. But she only heals if they're under 50% turn meter, so I need to make sure that's the case. Okay. 35.94. So yeah, it stays. Does it stay round to round? So he has 2. 35.94, it in fact does stay round to round. And the best way to see this is, okay, well, Siffi's going first. What's she healing him for? 2635. So he's getting a 50% attack boost very quickly. All right, so I just did the math. Now, Siffi is healing him based on some extra heals. Like, she has some other masteries that boost her healing done, which is fine. So the numbers are a little bit skewed. But if Siffi was healing him for 3594 whenever he was fully buffed up and everything, that was equivalent to having 71,000 HP. And if she was healing him for 2,635 at the very beginning of a fight, that's the equivalent of having 52,000 HP. Now, she has some masters, like I said, but he also had 2 buffs to start the fight, which 2 buffs would have been a boost of 10% to his HP. So if we were to go to He-Man and say, okay, what is a 10% boost to his HP currently? He has 45,640 times 1.1 equals 50,000. So it's actually very close. So yes, it's actually a 50% boost. Whenever this happens, it's actually really sweet. He's going to have, if you had him up to, I guess, 60,000 HP, 65,000 HP, somehow, he's going to get 100,000 HP. If you were to boost his defense, this would actually be a very tanky, very solid champion. But he's also boosting his attack by 50%. So instead of having 63, he's going to end up having 9,000 attack, basically, which is actually really cool. So because of this scaling and the fact that it does continue to last, I'm thinking a champion, I might have Nekrit in here. Nekrit's going to give him some extra stuff. Honestly, champions who can place extra buffs that can stack on top of each other, like continuous heal, could actually be really good for him. Because they can just keep loading it up, get him to the 10 super quick, and then be good to go from there. I'm going to try to do some live arena showcases of He-Man. May get 1 or 2 fights in. We're very close to the end of this live arena video, or this live arena window. But I'm going to go Crixia plus Siffi. Though I'm debating on switching Nekrit into protection just to boost He-Man's damage. And it could be pretty decent. Matter of fact, I was working on setting him up. I wonder what his speed would be if I gave him protection. So if we include everything that I could put, let's see. We'll go Ancora plus, actually no, we don't want Ancora. We'll go UDK plus Rotos, I guess. And then we'll get He-Man in the very back. But this Nekrit would be 241 speed. It's relatively quick, not crazy fast. Decent stats. Let's go with 100,000 HP. Do we have any way to make 100,000 HP Nekrit? Okay, not quite, unfortunately. About 90. 90,000 HP, 91,000 with 4,400 defense. It's pretty decent. We get that ascended correctly and be better. Now, He-Man, where you at, buddy? Let's see what kind of damage he does. Now, of course, he doesn't have very good multipliers. Like his, or not multipliers. He has great multipliers, actually. He doesn't have very good blessings. He has no blessings currently, obviously. But we do have the Speed Aura, which is incredible. Because now, I'll actually have a pretty good chance of going before them. Whereas before, maybe I wouldn't have gone before them. Because maybe they had a fast champion. Maybe their Odin was especially fast. But the Speed Aura from He-Man makes a pretty big difference sometimes. Especially when you compare it to like Ancora's 19% versus He-Man's 28%. That's an extra, what, 9%? Sometimes it's the difference between going first or not. We increase everybody's cooldowns, which is excellent. Hopefully she doesn't lower, I guess, will she lower his cooldowns? She did. I guess she always does. Let's see if we can just snipe down this Narcisse. Or just go A3. Let's go A3, see what it does. Okay, we kind of smacked him. We had a lot of buffs. He could just wreck my He-Man, though, for sure. He did. Unfortunately, we don't have that much HP. But little does he know that, 1, he has no res champion. And 2, my UDK is actually a nuke champion. So we can't res, of course. But we can do this. We just target everything on the Narcisse anyways. And then UDK is going to... He's definitely going to seal the deal here and get the kill. Go A2. Like I said, little does he know that UDK is a beast. So we'll get one more fight in. But He-Man did some pretty decent damage there. Didn't get to see how much because they left the fight. But what do we get here? Get some Prism stuff. Can't check it. Ain't got time. We're going to go into the next fight. Maybe do a few. But that A3 was solid, especially when you pair it with Siffi and 9-piece protection, it's even better. I mean, she's boosting about 15%. Plus, he has 3 buffs, which is going to be, well, 3 buffs actually plus his 2, so 5 buffs, which is a 50% damage boost to him. Plus the 5 times like 25, I guess, 25% attack and HP boost, attack percentage and HP percentage boost. So a lot of really strong things are being put onto He-Man in that situation. But a part of me is honestly considering using Necrit to boost He-Man every time, essentially guaranteed. So then he's always getting the 3, what does Necrit put? I forget. He puts ally protection, strengthen, a shield, and let's see, skills. His passive, ally protection, shield. Okay, no. Has a chance of placing sleep. No. Block debuffs, strengthen, ally protection. Okay, so block 2 buffs basically. Just 2 buffs. We're gonna go here. We're gonna go her plus. Actually, let's go Sify plus. I don't know. Actually, UDK plus Rotos, maybe. I don't know. Sure, let's go UDK plus Rotos. Why not? Pretty solid. I switched Rotos back into Ward of the Fallen. He's really good there. I was using Polymorph for a while. I actually didn't realize I even swapped him over, honestly. But let me know if you guys bought He-Man. How are you liking him? Are you enjoying him? Not quite what you expected? What is it? Or you just get him for nostalgia reasons? And there we go. Last champion, lock him in. Maybe get a quick fight here. And go for one more. We have no... Okay, so this isn't going to matter. The Hedgie is going to be kind of irrelevant. We have a bunch of Stone Skin champions here. The Duchess could be kind of annoying. The Quintus I don't really care about. She could be a speed champion. I don't really want to deal with her. She could be in Stone Skin. I don't really want to deal with that. The reses and the slowness of that fight. So I think I kind of want to get rid of Duchess. I guess she could actually strip me. But so could the Wukong. She could actually go first. Let's actually just ban the Lady Kimmy. Make it pretty fast. I have 2 awesome Speed Aura champions. They're basically 100% chance I'm going first. The only situation that could be bad... Actually, no. The Hegemon could nuke my Rotos. My Rotos just get an extra turn. You don't see Hedgie very often. Which this is a perfect reason, a perfect example of why He-Man is so important to have in the Stone Skin. Is because of things like this. Though Hegemon, you don't really see him that often, so... Okay, so we just, I guess, snipe the Wukong down. I don't really need to do this, honestly. I kind of just want to strip the Quintus. All right, well, maybe I kill a sheep. Okay, the sheep takes a turn, breaks the sheep, and then He-Man can take a turn, maybe? Okay, I'll steal everybody's turn meter. And then just for the sake of testing, let's see if He-Man can actually do something. He is pretty slow on speed, which is not great. A3. Okay, we did some pretty good damage. What was his overall damage, though? At 210 speed, 140? Not bad. He had no increased attack. He only had 2 buffs as well. So, we'll do a few more. I want to give a decent testing of him. I did test him a few days ago in Live Arena, but his build was like 5,300 attack with 220, 240 crit damage, and I really wasn't impressed by his damage. But I didn't want to put him in the best gear to test him. And then I realized that if I'm going to test him at the level of Live Arena that I am, where my other champions do good, I need to put him in pretty similar gear. Now, he's currently in gear that I'm not going to take from anybody else. I didn't take it from anybody else that I'm actually using. So the gear he's in is fine. But I realized, I need to give him actually good gear to make a good test. It does depend on where you're at. Like, while my gear may work well for this level, if you're newer, then you can have worse gear for sure. And if you've played longer, well, you're probably going to need better gear for him to work very well. I don't really use Sify that much. I'm actually really debating on getting her switched out of the 9-piece protection and throwing Necrit into it. Debating on that. Even though he's kind of weak versus Narcisse. But the Stone Skin would be even better. I don't know. We'll see. So we have a speed team there. We're going to ban the Armons for sure. Maybe go these 2. And then He-Man in the back. I think that's pretty decent. I mean, UDK is great. I could have actually gone Rotos plus He-Man and then not even picked the UDK. Kind of need to see how his A2 hits, though. Okay, this is actually a good situation to test it against. Because what we have here, he's going to be a problem, though, honestly. Gizmak will be an issue. This, I don't know how much I like Armand's. I don't like him being there. Definitely not. But I got to ban him. So we have a Speed Aura. This may not be horrible. We have the Speed Aura. But Gizmak is going to break my Stone Skin, without a doubt. The only chance I have is if Rotos gets a turn. He can maybe work through stuff. But Harima is not great versus He-Man because he doesn't rely on defense ignore stuff. Whereas Rotos does rely on his defense ignore from his A3. He-Man doesn't. He has no defense ignore stuff in his kit. So it doesn't really matter. Okay, that's actually good. So what we have here is possibly the best situation. Okay, well, it didn't really work out for me. We're going to strip everybody of everything, remove all their buffs. Now, the Gizmak buff being removed doesn't really matter, honestly. He's gonna be fine. Right? Like, he's just going to switch forms and then double hit, smack everybody. Kills He-Man, unfortunately, for sure. Right? Maybe he doesn't. I forget exactly how his skill works, but I guess it doesn't matter because he decided to just go with that. We're going to try to use He-Man's A3 skill. Can we get a kill on somebody? Okay, got a kill on the Arbiter. Beautiful. Now I can actually snipe the Gizmak with the A3. Assuming my Crixie doesn't get locked out, we just switch and cleanse. Or doesn't get stunned. We switch forms, cleanse the buffs. Is this the one that cleanses? Removes all debuffs from allies? Yeah. Excellent. And then we just go A2. I could have buffed and gave He-Man a little bit more damage. Get him dropped from the taunt. Okay. This is kind of just a Roto showcase, honestly. I want to see what He-Man's... Okay, well, I can't see nothing from He-Man. All right, UDK kind of held that down. He-Man did 81k. He kind of finished off the Arbiter, which was sweet. I mean, he's not affected by Harima, other than being, weak affinity to her. But other than that, he's fine. I would like to get some A1 hits against some undead horde champions. So if they pick a Rotos, something like that, love to go against them. Love to see how good that A1 does. It's actually some pretty decent damage, which makes me think having Necrit in there could be pretty cool. Could be pretty sweet. So here we're gonna go same thing as we've been. These two. This will be the last fight we get. I really want to try out his A2 ability, though. I just got to make sure I find the right time to do it. The more buffs he gets, the more damage stacks up. And the teams I've been running haven't been giving the most buffs. They've been giving some, and I could have used UDK to give him more buffs, but I've been giving a ton. Now, if we compare He-Man... Herman. He-Man is 45,000 HP, and Rotos is 48. Now, Rotos is built pretty well, so He-Man can get more HP than Rotos relatively easily, which is something I got to watch out for, because if I want Necrit buffing He-Man all the time, then I need my Rotos to have higher HP than him. So with Marius here, I think we're going to go with Marichka too. Yeah, definitely Narcisse for sure. Narcisse plus He-Man. Give them two a shot. Now this He-Man, like I said, he's pretty slow. Like, I don't have any of my nukers this slow. So for him to be here doesn't feel the best. Okay, so he's just like full on going horse. Just completely horse mode. Who can I have that kind of counters the horse? I don't even know. I don't think anybody does. I'll go UDK, and maybe in the hopes that he does. Actually, let's go some kind of strip champion. Do I have any strip champion? I don't guess I do, honestly. I guess it's just UDK. Could ban the horse and it's just Armand's controlling everything. I mean, he only has one damage dealer, right? We have Stone Skin, Stone Skin, Stone Skin. I'm going to be first. I'm going to lock out. Yeah, we're okay. This is fine. This is the play to make. You can't not ban the horse when he's the only damage dealer there. So this would be a decent chance to see how much damage He-Man does from his A2 ability, maybe. I can snipe down the Marichka or the Ancora. I don't know. This is going to be a little bit of an annoying fight. Stone Skin, yeah, I'm definitely going first. Unless he has... Okay, this is a little bit risky. Okay, no supersonic stuff. Excellent. Weak hits on the Armons, which is not good at all. Really not good, actually. He's going to try to strip my He-Man. Hopefully he doesn't get the Stone Skin off. Okay, so we keep the 2 buffs. So he can do this, but no, he can steal everything, but no stun's going to happen. Oh, we actually resisted it on He-Man. That's really good. He's definitely going to... Actually, who is he going to sheep? Sheep's He-Man. Now, let's not get a weak hit on Armons. Actually see something good. Good. No weak hit there. That is exactly what I was hoping for. Now, she switches forms. Maybe goes all in on He-Man. If so, it does not really matter because... Oh, that's actually a big hit. That's actually a pretty nice hit. Okay, it doesn't matter because, look, we're just going to pick him up. He's going to get an instant turn. And then he's going to have some extra damage dealt. A big chunk there. Block buffs on everybody. She can't res just yet. Oh, I was hoping that would kill her. It's really not good. I don't think she can res. I don't think she can do anything just yet. Yeah, she should be locked out. Good. So now we're okay. Now it's just ticking the time down, right? I do want to see what his A2 does against Mikage, though. Kind of. Does she res with block damage? I forget. Let's just try to kill the Mikage. 134,000. Beautiful damage. Get some more buffs over there onto him. I would love to use the A2 on her so I can get turn meter boosted on everybody. I got to make sure to do this properly. He's not going to kill her with his A1. Oh, that was actually pretty close, though. Don't kill her. Got her. Dang it. Can we just wipe everybody here? Boom. Wiped him. He-Man did 271,000 damage. Not much more than UDK, but he's also control like the entire time. But of the fights we did, I mean, we had a pretty solid win rate. And He-Man did good. 18 million. I'm actually a little bit impressed, and I may actually try to go for some souls for him, honestly. Let's see if we can pull a 1-star soul and grab a soul for He-Man. Just like, get lucky. Maybe it happens. Stranger things have happened for sure. Okay, not a He-Man soul. That's okay. We have him on the wish list, right? Yeah, he's on the wish list. So I'll be on the lookout for his soul. I do want to see how he does a little bit higher. But that was just a test in the arena of him so far. Seems solid. Is he worth the $40? I mean, worth is... no, it's pixels. I mean, however much you value pixels is how much he's worth it. You do get other stuff. We get some 6-star speed glyphs, which are pretty sweet. I actually need to use some of those on him. Not 6-star, but the 4-star ones. So some of this stuff is pretty sweet. I did pay $60 for mine, of course, not $40. But if you want to be patient, which I recommend doing, why is it taking so long to collect this stuff? You can just pay $40 and you get him. Get some glyphs for him as well, which is pretty cool. I wouldn't say any of these resources are like really worth $40, but for him, I mean, you're going to spend a lot more money on shards to actually open him from a shard in the future if that's what you wanted to do. So, not going to say whether you should get him or not. I just want to say that he's a champion who, depending on where you're at in the game, you can definitely justify uses for him. I'll show his build one more time. I don't think it's a bad value for what Plarium has for values. With some more blessings, I think he could be very solid. I was not very excited about him at first because I didn't have his stats very good. His speed is okay. I want it to be higher. I definitely want it to be higher. I can get some more speed here. I can get some more speed in a few places, I think. So as his speed, if he was like 250 with these stats, it'd be a completely different situation. I think I would like him a lot more. But being at 210, I guess almost 220 now, 215. I want a little bit more from him. Which, I mean, if he gets 2-star blessing, then he's going to have all of a sudden Heaven Cast for sure, extra damage from the buffs. But then he's going to have an extra 600 attack, sorry, 750 plus 7,500 HP. So 2-star blessing is actually a pretty big deal for him, which makes me want to get some more soul stones, but they're just going to scam me. I'm not going to get anything good from this. Unless I can sell a few of these 3-star ones and open up, I don't know. I mean, I need 300. Yeah, I'm not going to do that. Not going to do that right now. These ones, I'd be tempted for the Eternal, but I've already gotten most of the rewards from this event anyway. So guys, I just want to give you all my opinions on He-Man. Let me know what your thoughts are on him so far. Of course, I don't love the whole Champion Pass thing. The Xena one was frustrating as well. I purchased it, so I mean, I can't say that much negative about it, honestly. It feels a little hypocritical if I do, but I do appreciate that they added Skeletor this time, who we can also get a high-star soul for, which makes me think He-Man may actually come with a soul event in the near future, which would be pretty sweet if so, because I would actually go for that. A 5-star soul for He-Man would actually be sick. So guys, thank you all very much for watching. Hope you have a great rest of your day and a happy Thanksgiving, and I'll catch you in the next one.